Hello and welcome to another edition of the Father and Son Pastime Podcast. I'm Patrick.
I'm Kevin.
That's my dad. This is a continuing of the series where we talk about the all-time teams for each MLB franchise. As you know, we have a few kind of rules, parameters that we've been following. We only talk about the franchises from their years that they were their current franchise till now. Today's feature is the Seattle Mariners, so only 1977 to now. Obviously, that's when they were expansion
Not the
team.
Pilots.
Right, no pilots. Right, no Seattle Pilots. As well as people that we choose have to have at least a 3-year playing requirement. They have to be on the Mariners for at least 3 years. Yeah, that's really the only two things. And then we'll kind of debate. We go back and forth. We discuss. And then obviously some of these teams that haven't been around as long, sometimes it creates more of a debate because less Hall of Famers have come. We talked about the Nationals earlier. We actually had a lot of similarities there, but we had some good discussions there. So we're going to see where my dad and I fall on that spectrum. Are we going to have similar positions, or are we going to have complete opposite teams? So without further ado, let's talk about the Mariners' dream team.
Sure.
Dad, catcher.
Mike Zunino.
Zunino. Really? Why?
Because that's the only one that really bounced out that had the qualifications of being offensive and defensive catcher. And I didn't see anyone else get on the list that really came up and said hello to me.
No one's going to say hello to you. Seattle has always struggled with catchers.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. Zunino, and to me, just never had the offensive quality. I mean, he had like a 212 average one year. I went with Dan Wilson. Again, 90s catcher. I'm going to do a lot of 90s. That's going to be a theme here with the 95 team. If you played on Griffey's team, I know that's not
But he didn't have great batting average
No, he
either.
didn't. No, he didn't. But he had better than 212.
Okay.
Plus, he had more years with the Mariners.
Okay.
So I'm just going with Dan Wilson here. He's also kind of like a crowd favorite, a fan favorite.
Yeah.
So
kind of like the Rick Dempsey of Seattle.
Sure.
Steady leader. Sure. Okay.
Yeah, no World Series MVP, that's for sure, though.
I went back and forth with that, so yeah.
Yeah. First base, I chose John Olerud. Your thoughts?
Alvin Davis.
Okay. So the, Mr. Mariner, right?
Correct. And he was, again, longevity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Olerud had a good amount of years, too.
Yeah. He was the star when they were a little lean.
Yeah.
So,
John had a lot of home runs.
He did.
He could really
Great
hit the ball.
hitter.
Yeah.
And Toronto as well.
Yeah.
But
good with the glove. He had 3 Gold Gloves as a Mariner, too.
Yeah.
So, hard pressed to avoid John, but obviously your choice is certainly. We're very kind of like 1-2 with a lot of things, so that's good. Second base?
Harold Reynolds.
That was my 2, but not. What was your 2?
Cano.
No.
Cano.
Oh, so no Cano for me because I'd stay away from people that use steroids or performance-enhancing drugs.
Yeah.
I went with Bret Boone.
Okay.
Bret Boone, really good.
Steady guy.
A lot of hits, a lot of home runs, powerful second baseman.
Yeah.
So I went Boone.
Yeah, I like Reynolds because he was the leadoff guy for a little bit and set the table. So he was the kind of like a Joe Morgan of his time.
Okay.
You know, and
it's a hell of a comparison. Congrats on Harold for that nice compliment.
But yeah, I just think he was a steady player. So
yeah. Boone also had 3 Gold Gloves, so he could hit and field pretty well. Shortstop, I went with Alex Rodriguez.
Yes.
I know there's going to be a lot of comments there. I'm sure Vizquel was in that.
There goes your steroid little thing.
But, so, no. No, I'm very happy you brought that up. So, I believe Alex Rodriguez, when he used steroids, he said that he used them from 2001 to 2003, and again on the Yankees. He came clean when nobody was talking to him about the Rangers. So I don't think any of his Mariners stats are tainted in any way.
He was a smaller man at that time.
He was, and again, he played shortstop, and then he didn't move over to third base until he was with the Rangers. I don't know. I think he played a little third base, but I know he really obviously went to third base when he was a Yankee.
Oh, he had to.
Yeah, with Jeter. I don't know if he played any third base with the Rangers. I don't remember that.
No, he was a shortstop with the Rangers.
Okay.
Yes.
But he was a shortstop for the entire time with the Mariners, so I think he is the best shortstop in Mariners history.
I agree. That's where they were good. They had a young core that was fantastic.
Someone I think on that side of the infield is even better, though, is Adrian Beltre, and that's who I put at third.
I had Edgar Martinez.
Really? Not as a DH?
Correct.
Interesting. We'll talk about who you're going to be as a DH.
Yeah.
Edgar obviously did play third base, but defensively, Adrian Beltre is better.
I agree, but Edgar was one of the, again, the teams I remember was with Ken Griffey, late 80s, early 90s, when they were so good. And again, he was a big part of that. And offensively, he always had over 100 RBIs almost every season. So
Part of that was Griffey, by the way.
Oh, I
because
I
if
know.
you walk Griffey, you're going to hit it. You know how
Correct.
to hit.
Yeah.
Runs are coming.
Yeah. So anyway, that's who I had.
Okay, so we have similar infield. Going outfield, who do you have in left?
Phil Bradley.
Okay, defend yourself.
He, again, when I went through all that, because we had two really good right fielders. In left field wasn't a whole lot of choices, but Phil, in his day, he played professional football and baseball. Great athlete, and was part of that. Wasn't, a great player, but of all the choices that were had for Seattle, in my opinion, he was the most athletic.
I went with Raul Ibanez.
He was a great player.
Really underrated for every team he
Yeah.
played for.
Yeah.
He could always hit the ball, played a long career.
Yeah.
So I really thought Raul Ibanez would be the person I would put
Yeah.
next to two Hall of Famers. One's in the Hall of Fame, and one will soon be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
But that's my outfield. That's the start of my outfield on the left. Center, I will, of course, take. If Griffey isn't your starting center fielder on this team,
He was
please
a bomb.
get out of here. People always, it's a Griffey shirt. He is my all-time center fielder. I know that's a big disagreement. People are always going to put Willie Mays there. Griffey, for me, is the best center fielder to ever play Major League Baseball.
Yeah. I think Willie Mays was his godfather or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah. Well, he was around so many great players growing up with his dad. So when we get to the Reds...
So Mickey Mantle's third as center fielders?
Yeah.
That's some good center fielders.
I know. Well, we just talked about the left field with just the Boston Red Sox alone.
I know.
You know?
I know.
You got Rice, you got Yaz, and Teddy Williams.
Yeah.
It's all the same team.
Somebody's got to go
Exactly.
number two.
But I know, all the old-timers that are listening right now, you're like, oh, no, Willie Mays or Mickey Mantle's better. Listen, you saw him, I didn't. I saw Griffey, and I saw a baseball god. So that's just me. Right field is Ichiro Suzuki. I think that's simple.
Yeah.
I'll give Ichiro that he was a better hitter than Griffey. But defensively, of course, I'm going to think Griffey is just a miracle worker out there.
Ichiro had an arm, though. I mean, he was...
he did. I'm just, again... Ichiro also came in. He played deep into his 40s. I mean, I got to give that something.
Yeah.
He really gave that late 20s to late 30s in Seattle before kind of moving around to different teams.
His prime years are in Japan.
His early 20s and his late 20s, early 30s were in Seattle. And that's when he was truly magnificent.
Yeah.
When he was a Mariner, and I'm very glad he finished his career not only as a Mariner but in Japan as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's truly a god to them.
Yeah. Legendary.
That's their best baseball player ever. So again, you look at. Just different cultures and different...
I love the way you just slapped them all.
Yeah. Again, I have plenty of Ichiro stories too, plenty of Griffey stories, but we'll talk about those some other time. DH for me is Edgar, so who is...
Jay Buhner.
Okay. That's fair. A lot of people think that, again, more of an outfielder than a DH, but I see your argument.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine. We actually have more disagreements on this team so far than any other team so far. I think we've had a very different outfield. So, again, start sounding off in the comments below on who's picking the right ones and who's picking the wrong ones. Now, pitching, again, I know I'm going to have an argument already. You're going to choose Randy Johnson.
Of course.
And I'm going to choose Felix Hernandez.
Okay, tell me why.
Okay. So, King Felix, first off, King. There's no King Randy. So, King Felix has the most innings pitched of any Seattle Mariner pitcher ever. Okay? So, he's been a Mariner longer than Randy ever was. He had more better years than Randy, if that makes any sense. Randy had some great years, some two that really pop out to me, but King Felix has some really steady years and overall a lower ERA than Randy Johnson did as a Mariner. And don't forget, Randy had some great teams to work with. King Felix did not.
That is true.
So I just think that, again, prime Randy or prime King Felix, it's Felix Hernandez for me.
When it comes to big games, Randy was the guy late 80s, early 90s when they had big games.
I think, and again, people are out there going to give me some crap for this, but I think Randy almost didn't mind giving up so many runs. There was a season with Seattle that he had over a 4.0 ERA. It was one of his highest ERA seasons ever in the Hall of Fame career, but he had people like Griffey and A-Rod and Boone behind him. So, why would you care if you gave up 5-6 runs in an outing? Yeah. King Felix didn't have that luxury. So I think in terms of when the game's on the line and you need to have a dominance where you can only give up a run or two before relievers come in, King Felix took it more seriously than Randy did.
Okay.
Again, I knew we were going to have that argument.
Yeah.
We'll find out depending again.
When Randy went into Hall of Fame, what hat did he wear?
I don't know. Well, just like Musina did. I don't think he picked a hat.
Okay, because it was Arizona from what I remember because of the World Series and all that. So maybe.
I don't
Interesting.
know. But Montreal is a team, you know.
Correct. That's where he started.
He played with several teams. So
Yeah.
Listen, Randy's great, and he would be a number 2 person. If you want me to pick a lefty, I'd pick Randy, but I want King Felix.
Okay.
Setup man, I went with Arthur Rhodes because, again, shocker, I know he played enough seasons to qualify.
Yeah.
But another longevity kind of person, just like Ichiro, with going deep into his 40s and playing. I really like that. I think that's hard to do. And he really was a great setup man for Seattle during the years he played for the Mariners. Who was yours?
I got Jeff Nelson.
Oh,
yeah.
Another great option.
Yeah. And I like Rhodes a lot. So, yeah, both are great. Rhodes started as an Oriole. So then it ended up there. But again, longevity and everything else. Very good.
And then your closer.
Tell me who you have.
I went with the saves leader here, even though he was only a Mariner for about 4 or 5 years. Suzuki has the most saves in Mariners history, somewhere in the 200s. But again, I'd be open to hearing other options.
I went Jeff Nelson and then Rhodes as my closer, only because they didn't have a true outstanding closer in the list that I looked.
Yeah, their recent guys kind of decent, but Suzuki, I just went with kind of his stats here, where he had the most saves, and he again, I think it was only a Mariner for like 5 years. He was another Japanese player that came over, did really well, but a very short MLB career. Still was able to get that record though in only 5 years, which is pretty impressive.
I can't remember who was the closer during their seasons in 89 to 92. I think they went through a whole bunch and did like a bullpen, committee.
I'm not. I know what's going to my mind.
Yeah, so that tells you something.
The manager, best ever manager for the Mariners.
Lou Pinella.
I choose Lou Pinella too. We met him this summer.
That's right.
And
he signaled you out.
Yeah, he did. But he's much calmer now. If you ever want to, he's not getting ejected every other game. He's not hot-headed. He's much calmer now in his 70s. He did say that of every player that he ever coached, Ken Griffey was the best and who he felt the luckiest to be a part of their career. So that just goes to show.
I think just call him Junior.
Yeah, just call him Junior.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah, that's who he was.
That was a great. That was really cool.
Yeah, so Lou's a nice guy. The Mariners, we also have been doing our favorite logo. So each position, a manager as well as a logo. The Mariners only had 4 logos. They've definitely been really into, in my opinion, like the 70s and the 80s, and their logos showcase. Here are those 4 options. Dad, what is your favorite?
I like the one that is this one right here.
The current one?
And on your shirt.
Yes. So this is on my shirt. Obviously, down here with the compass.
And your sleeve.
My sleeve too. Despite my shirt, I'm actually going to go to the late 80s, early 90s one. I just think that is super cool. That, again, as a Griffey fan, that's what I remember on his his cards, his uniform.
Yeah, you're right.
That's what I really remember.
Rookie cards.
Yeah, the rookie cards, that kind of stuff. And I just think it's a classic look with the baseball, too. So mine is the 87 to 93 logo.
I like getting the Seattle because of the teal and the blue and everything else. I like the teal. Everything they did that was teal uniforms I thought was sharp.
Yes, that alternate jersey is pretty nice.
Yeah.
So sound off in the comments below. Give us a like. Give us a subscribe. Let us know your thoughts. Obviously, we had very differing ideas on this. So maybe your dream team for the Mariners is a little bit of a hodgepodge of both our lists. Let us know.
I agree. Beltre didn't make my list. I should have put him as my DH instead of Buhner.
Why would you DH Beltre?
I know Edgar was one of the second best DHs of all time.
Yeah, put Edgar as a DH and Beltre as a third baseman. Like, I don't know. That's simple to me, but yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm just saying, if you don't have Beltre on this list, who's going to be a Hall of Famer, I can't see how he's not. But so
I agree. I'll make that switch.
All right, there you go. We're already changing stuff up. It's recorded though, so you heard it here first, folks.
That's right.
Yeah.
Way to go, Adrian.
There you go. Thanks for watching.